Of sorts.
All right.
Well, there's different variations of pentagrams anyway.
I mean, this one has I mean, to be honest, to me, cool design, but it's not really cool after we talk about it.
Yeah. It's cool until you realize there's human hair attached to it.
Well, in the way it was being used.
So we're back live. I'm a little shaky, sorry. But this is the artifact that we acquired.
Yeah.
It was given to us, and there's a little backstory that I found out about this object right there on the table.
You found backstory.
No, when I was talking to the gentleman that gave it to us, he found it in his backyard.
Yeah.
So this artifact right here that we're
there.
showing was found in his backyard. And he moved there. He's a new renter, and as they were cleaning up, they were finding different pieces and different artifacts that the people before them were worshipers, satanic worshipers.
Most likely.
Most likely. They had all the key ingredients of the satanic worship,
they had
sacrifice.
Kind of like a shrine-ish thing in their closet, right?
Yeah. So, and that, to me, that, always pulls triggers. Like, hey, that could be something bad.
Hey, that looks like a ritual
But
spot.
as you can see, I'm going to hold it up closer. So this right here is a pretty cool little emblem. And this the customer, gosh dang it, I did it again. The clients that gave me this, they dropped it off at the good old haunted house for me to pick up. Great. But
maybe.
We don't know. But he was having weird instances happen at his house. Something was there, and he brought it to me. And like the first thing I look at is I don't know if the video will focus, but you can see there's a strand of hair attached to it.
And this is real human hair.
Human hair. And I asked a hairdresser, how can we test if it was real human hair? Or she told me to look for the signs. Fake hair is going to basically like melt together, and then human hair will sizzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if you look at it, singe.
Yeah.
But I know you guys probably can't see it on the video. But there is some singe mark, Kevin. I'll point it up so you can see it. You can see there's some singe marks on the hair. Yeah. And then we started talking about it to Nakia and everybody. So this is where we're going to kind of let her talk for a few minutes on give your thoughts on this. I'm going to keep it zoomed in, and we'll chime in and out. So what do you think the purpose of this artifact that I have in my hand is for, and what are a couple different meanings of it?
That I believe, because I went and researched this with someone I hope to have on here soonish. So
yes, we will not give that away.
Yeah. But his input was that it was a personal medallion, a personal pendant.
Okay.
I would assume bonding himself to whatever entity it is that he's talking to.
Or whoever was doing the satanic worship and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as, you said it could be bonded. Now, would that just be like taking the person that was doing the ritual and bonding it to that specific entity?
I think so.
Okay. Because that would make sense if you're trying to do something, you take something personal like a medallion here that would have some of this. And the hair. Well, I guess the medallion doesn't make it personal. It's the hair. The hair that's attached to the medallion makes it very personal. Sorry, cough, insert cough. But, and when people are practicing and worshiping, or what would you call it, worshiping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In layman's terms,
making
totally.
offerings and stuff,
Okay.
Conjuring of
So,
sorts.
or they're trying to make contact with said demon.
Yes.
So that's and they use this type of stuff here, and we have more and more people joining in right now. But you have people that use pendulums. You have people that use the pentagrams like this. You have people that use crystals. You have people,
Ouija boards, cards.
and it all can be related to almost kind of the same thing. You're using it to open up a portal or contact something that can attach itself to you. Mm-hmm. So you're opening up Pandora's box of
and possibly lifetime worth of problems. But
I'd like to be out of the hole.
Do you think? I mean, by looking at this, does this person know what they're doing?
What would you think? Do you want to see it? If you don't want to touch it, it's fine.
No idea.
I mean, is this like common stuff? I mean that.
Now, with with Reiki and what you do, how would you incorporate seeing something like this? What would you do to get rid of it or help, close it up, essentially? Cleanse it?
And cleanse it with the energy. You can use, you can smudge it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are different aspects that you can do just to kind of, if you come across one of these things, this is something that we have the
Dunk it in
power to
some holy
do.
water.
Yeah, dunk it. Just walk by church and throw it in the offering bin.
Right.
Oh man, I'm going to
It
hell.
was a black bath bomb.
Yeah. Oh god.
Look, it's fizzing.
As you can tell on Unsolved Paranormal, we like to have a little bit of fun too. My microphones are ridiculously high now. I have no clue why. Here, Kevin, take the phone.
Yeah. All right. Hang on.
Okay. But we do like to have a little bit of fun. In all seriousness, though, you don't want to go throw it in the the baptism well
That's just really
at your local church, or as Nakia suggested, you don't want to put one of those black bath bombs and
Go
You know what, wouldn't that be-
to the local to your priest.
Your
Talk to them.
and
yeah.
they will.
Bring
If
them
you run
this.
across something, an artifact that you don't know how to handle or you don't know what to do, people are always afraid to go to the church.
Yeah.
I come to find that out. They are always afraid to go to the church because they're going to think that person thinks they're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or judge them heavily.
Exactly, and that's
And-
not what they
That's not what they
do.
do.
That is what they're
No,
there
they're
for.
They're there to help you.
They're there,
in
and
your
they
belief.
may not know what to. They're going to know the best of what to do with or they may not what the artifact is, but they can get a hold of somebody like us that can research it.
Yeah.
And for example, I love one of the churches that we did. It was a couple of years ago. Kevin and I did an actual. They were having their monthly meeting of their gathering of their women of the church,
Yeah.
and we went down and spoke about paranormal. Like in general, we spoke about paranormal, what we thought of, different instances, and we sat in front of the congregation of this church of women and answered all the questions they had.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was at the Knickerbocker, right?
No, it was at
It
Spurlock's,
Spurlock's.
in the back room.
That's right. That's
And
right.
let alone, so we kind of did it at their location that they picked, but it was one of the coolest experiences because these churchgoers were so set in their ways, but they had questions that weren't completely related to their religion.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, and some of them had some demonic questions, and some of them had just different aspects of paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool that the church, the pastor or priest, I don't know what they call her at that church.
Yeah, I'm not for sure.
Um,
But she has helped us out a lot.
oh, she's awesome.
She's been great.
And we're not going to name names because you can't
No.
have her. She's all ours. No, but it's cool that the person in charge, the pastor or priest, reached out to us because it was a general subject that was going on in their church, and she wanted to get a little bit of answers. So I thought that was really cool that they reached out, and we were able to provide some of those answers.
Yeah.
But
We normally get that around October.
Yeah.
it is. It does happen around Halloween a lot, and Halloween's kind of like my busiest time of the year. Jason and I are
Yeah. Super busy.
super busy.
Super busy. I'm busy now.
Shameless plug. Make sure next Halloween you're coming to Evil on Erie.
So we have a
There you
couple
go.
questions here. We have a couple questions that we've gotten. Pam, so today's subject.
Pamsy?
Yeah, Pam's on. So
Hi, Pamsy.
so today's subject is basically about
We're just discussing demonology.
yeah,
really.
demonology, demons, different
Yeah,
religions,
we're just-
and we're going to touch on here in a little bit of how you can better distinguish what's in your home if you have
Exactly.
something, and that way you will know if it's demonic, possibly, or a spirit, just a normal, mundane spirit that's
Or
just
just-
passing
or,
through.
yeah, or just
Wiring
there's
in your house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or,
I mean-
or a loved one.
and like we covered at the beginning of the show, people who are set in their ways and what their beliefs and when they were raised sometimes jump to the conclusion of it being a demonic entity because it's causing them to be scared, it's causing them to move stuff and maybe to scratch them, but it could
There's another question.
oh, I'll get another question. Okay. How do you store an artifact like that? That's a great question, Natasha. I put them under my bed.
No.
No, okay.
Sleeps
No.
pillow that we can deal with people.
We like we said, and most of the artifacts and everything like that, you can throw them in a cast iron, grill. Like I call it a grill
Stove.
because I have a stove, a cast
Yeah.
iron stove where I store some stuff. You can get them blessed, you can get them smudged, so it kind of closes the portal with the artifact. Dip them in holy water. It was a good, that's Nakia kind of covered that. But then, just I always store stuff with, like, a rosary or a blessed cross with it so it doesn't really spike up in activity. because I do have several of these artifacts at home. I really do. So, and it
Ouija
can be,
boards.
I have Ouija boards.
We have the same style as this here, as a necklace. Karen's case, they use that as their connection.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we have that necklace because it was the St. Mary's.
Yep. But it was used for the wrong thing.
Yeah, that was used as a pendulum to connect with the demon in the home.
These artifacts can be absolutely dangerous. That you get some of these artifacts are related to the negative case or a demonic case that you would say. And since your wife, you left the Ouija board, and sorry, Abby, it was probably my fault.
Oh yeah, we left the Ouija board and the necklace in the car.
And then her brakes went out twice.
Yeah, on the way home, and then I took it out and gave it to you.
He took it out and gave it to me in my car.
And we never had a problem with that vehicle.
Never had an issue with that vehicle again.
And yeah.
So then that just proves that energies around the world or spirits around the world, they can affect anything.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what it's demonic, no matter if it's, just a normal spirit, it can affect everything. So you have to be careful. You have to get these things blessed. You have to store them in a good site and then keep them safe. Just like the museums. You have the occult museums.
Well, you have the doll, that one doll, Annabelle doll that's blessed, I think, weekly?
Yeah, weekly. And that's if there was a demon that I would think is in something, it'd be that doll.
Yeah.
That would be, and then that's the thing.
That doll's super creepy.
It is super.
Yeah, that doll is super.
I never thought of Raggedy Ann the same.
Not like that.
After I realized what the doll was, and that proves the point. When you're in demonology or you're talking about demons, they can inhabit anything.
Pretty much.
They can go to any inanimate adjective. But it could be, this is real drastic, but it could be a coffee mug. It could be your, I wouldn't say your phone, but a pendulum. I mean, something that has self-worth to you, or it's personal to you, things can be, inhabited. It can inhabit it. I can't talk.
Yeah. I mean, but that, leads into if that object's in your home, or, if you have something in your home, the most common question we get is, I have a demon in my home, I want to get it out. How do I do that? Well, first we need to realize, or we need to figure out if it is, because there's different ways to get rid of those.
Here's the. Sorry, Kevin, keep going.
No, go ahead. No, that's
here is the pendulum.
Yeah, we've had some new viewers, so that's what we've been talking about. But if you have those things in your home, what we do is try to figure out if that is the case, because we hear it all the time. We joke about it, but it's a serious thing. People always think there's a demon in their home. Or a malevolent spirit or evil entity in their home because, it plays with the toys and scares the kids and scaring them because they just don't understand it. And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's very, very
what's
true.
There and researching it.
That's very, very true.
And having, that's what we do. We don't expect.
We don't know everything in the paranormal realm, so we have to resort to research.
A few things that I think I've seen that I would be more inclined to think that it is a malevolent or demonic or something along those lines is I've heard of that you don't see in TV shows or movies.
You don't?
Yeah.
Dang.
You see a lot of stuff in it, but I think we talked about the flies.
The flies, yes, we did.
The flies in the windowsills.
Well, the flies and really any animal gathering.
When they gather, yes, exactly. When they gather,
when they gather in a way that you're like,
why would 100 flies die right here?
Yeah.
In this spot?
I have cleaned my home.
Right?
And the other thing, along with cleaning, a cluttered home, a very, very.
As soon as Kevin's done,
home.
I will explain your questions. Yes.
So, and that's one place with Karen's. It was cluttered, and there was one whole room we couldn't even get into.
Yeah, shooting through the door.
Yeah.
And did we have a question?
Well, we have a couple things. Steven was popping on here, and he kind of saw us post about this first. And the backstory is it was given to us from a gentleman that found him at his house, where he found other artifacts and stuff that would lead to satanic worship and sacrifice. And he spoke to the landlord, and the landlord actually confessed that the previous owner or previous renters did do sacrifices and stuff in the backyard. And then Stephen, yes, I did consult I did to the best of my ability with a hairstylist and cosmetologist on this to make sure it is human hair.
Yeah, because the hair is...
Because they can tell the difference between the synthetic and regular hair. They're the best.
The hair would burn differently.
To me, the hair would singe versus melting.
Yeah.
So now on something like that,
Okay.
you're obviously your mindset is, oh crap, now I've got this, object that I think is got a demon. I'm just going to throw it in somebody's backyard, but that's obviously not always going to get rid of your problem,
It won't get rid of your problem.
No.
Not at all.
I mean, if anything, you now have a problem in 2 areas.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
you
have-
open up a door in another plot, another area for.
And it could be something so a family that's innocent,
Yeah, had nothing to do with it. Like this
but
guy.
now they're getting introduced in the paranormal realm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, one of the dead flies is one of them, and another one is dead grass, like patches of
Yeah.
dead
And, like,
grass. They-
Certain orientation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
like,
like,
wouldn't-
circles or some
wouldn't
type
call
of
them crop circles, but
yeah,
something
some
like
type
that.
of like design of sorts. Trying to think off the top of my head of any, other things that aren't widely known.
Birds.
Birds.
Unexplained.
Not the Windex commercial.
Not the Windex. But like, I think there's kind of signs with certain birds. I know crows have a bad stigma.
Crows, ravens.
Ravens is another big one. But
the other ones?
But they just have some animals have a certain stigma about it, and it's bad juju, bad belief. Whether that's true or not, whatever, it's what you want to believe and what's happening to you. The other ones,
And yeah, Amber brought up a good one. Owls, like owl, like a hoo,
oh, okay,
Yeah.
like a hoo.
they seem pretty nice to me.
Kevin.
But I like owls.
Vultures.
Well, I'm just reading.
Vultures. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we do have a question here. If encountered, if there's a spirit in your home, what is the best way not to disturb or annoy them? I've seen worse stuff on cameras, either hostile, including things moving on their own, nothing real serious, but what would you think, as our opinion, to be the best way to, would you acknowledge what was there and just let them know? I'll put the camera down.
Yeah.
Would you acknowledge what was there? Because I know, and here's my opinion. I would acknowledge what was there and let them know this. If you're somebody that passed away on my property or anything, this is my house now, and you're welcome to stay here.
Yeah.
As long as you can be peaceful.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's me.
That is one way.
Yeah. So what would you do?
It depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to get rid of it, and you want to do it yourself because, say, you don't want to believe, you don't have too many religious beliefs and things like that. Saging.
Yep.
I mean, Nakia knows that stuff. Smudging. Saging.
Saging. Yeah.
Saging, smudging. It's a new thing.
Oh God.
It's a new thing.
What you used to cook with.
Yeah, right. Just a little sage in your cooking.
Saging.
No, smudging. Is
Clean the
smudging.
house, like literally, physically clean the house.
Yeah, for sure.
So good cleansing.
Yeah, like literally cleansing.
But I also agree with just boundaries. Say, hey,
Yeah.
this is.
I mean, if
this
it's
is
something
now
that's
my
not
home.
bothering you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why poke the bear?
We went to a home and they had some things happening, and there was different beliefs in the home, and they. I think we've talked a little bit about it. When we went to Mount Vernon.
Yes, we did.
But I mean,
That's
just
the voodoo. That's what led to Vampire Diaries.
no, that's
Oh
not
my
voodoo.
gosh.
Oh. Oh no, sorry, that's a different case.
This was just me, Josh, and my wife. But we got the holy water, we used it, and then everyone was apologizing. You can stay here. We're sorry for getting mad at you, or angry with everything that's going on, and yelling at you or whatever, and just kind of apologize that you can stay here, but please don't mess with us. Kind of
Yeah.
along the same lines of you're saying, we'll live cohesively together, and through our spirit box, we got I'm sorry too. They said I'm sorry through it.
Yeah.
And that's a bond that they made, and I haven't got a call back since. That was a few years ago.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
So
And and Amber brought up a good thing here, and she loves owls too. Just to let you know,
sweet.
she loves owls too. But Kevin, and some of the symbols of different cultures, they're symbols of death. So
Yeah,
around in general, what somebody would think is so normal, and in some cultures it could be, the
I mean, looking someone in the eye in certain cultures is like, don't do it, frowned upon.
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
Those kinds of things that people get nervous. They don't like it.
yeah.
I totally get it.
So yeah, that was cool that she brought that up.
Yeah.
And Pamsy, yes, you usually say hello and calmly tell them to behave. That's good. You know, you're kind of setting the boundaries there. And, you know, just if it does become an issue, you know, you can just fly us down to Peru. And
I want to go.
and we'll come stay in one of the hostels and we'll take care of it for you. And you know, it'd be fun. But
So you brought
Yes.
up the different, you know, the different aspects and the different ways that you can go about. But is there a specific person that would better help you in doing a smudging? Or,
oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's probably going to be something on Google, but you're obviously not going to.
yeah.
You know,
And that's the thing is people when they're looking for this type of stuff for help with, you know, demon, you know, if they have a case like this where there's demons where they need something blessed, most people resort to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
They really do, or YouTube. They look up how to smudge a house and how to like a was a do-it-yourself
Yeah.
video.
But I
By
guess
the way,
what-
you shouldn't do that.
No,
But I
absolutely.
guess what I'm trying to say is you should actually then reach out to someone like your
Yes.
church.
Yes, your
Yeah.
church or a
someone
group like
if you
us.
know-
Someone like
Advisor.
Nikia.
That knows Reiki or some kind of like a
And-
Right,
spirited
but-
kind of mind, religious or whatever
A
belief.
healer, a light worker.
Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah.
So
you
doing
just-
that though, they're not always going to think that you're a nutcase.
No.
They,
no.
they
You
shouldn't
need to-
ever think you're a nutcase.
Right.
Right.
You know, in whatever research that you need to, but then always go out of the realm and say, okay, I know that I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I just need somebody's, you know.
James, are you making everyone sick on that?
He's making
No,
everybody
I don't.
sick.
I got tired of holding it.
Sorry.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, totally. You know, doing it, regardless, they're going to want you involved in
Yes.
some way, short.
because you are what's tying, or you could be playing what's tying the institute to the home.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead. You go
For
first. example,
when we had the haunted artifacts or the
Yeah,
haunted
we went to
objects
someplace
at,
neutral.
at my parents' tool shed. When we had one of our investigators at the time, Josh, Big Josh, he came over and he blessed the tool shed, but he
Yeah.
had my family involved. You know,
because
saying
there are
the
people that
blessings.
live there.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's a more. I mean, could he have done it without them? Yes, but it brings. It's more meaningful. It's more powerful. You know, the belief is everything. You know, in those kinds of instances.
Your belief and your faith is going to be your most powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Horrible.
See, man, I don't know what it is. Drink another one, I guess, right, James? But and thank you, Amber. We do love that what we do, and we do love that we can go out to homes and help people. That is one of the biggest things that we like. And in turn, people that look up stuff on Google, on YouTube, on how to do it yourself, just don't.
I mean, it's okay to look it up. Just don't find more people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, use those tools to also reach out to local people in your area that could also help you, that has hands-on experience to help you get rid of these things, because that's Steven's right when he was saying you could do more worse than good
Yeah.
by doing it yourself. And,
No harm, no foul doesn't play here.
And there's no book.
And that's where we get back to there is no handbook or guidebook saying, hey, do it this way.
There's one for sure way, and this is the only
But there's so many different opinions, even when we get to the demonology or just in the paranormal realm. It can be manipulated anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I think that's why I love it. I love it a lot.
I want to add one other thing. Like, I was watching another.
Documentary.
No, another.
I love
Vampire
documentaries.
Another
Diaries.
person that was talking.
Kobe just looks at me every time. It just gets a little grin on his face.
Well, I mean, I had you listen. I told you to listen to it. It was a Facebook Live post another person talked about. And it was about this very subject of people who are ordained.
Or yeah, ordained ministers. What is it?
That you can just one click and you're ordained. Kind of thing, that mentality, and they think that they can.
Now you can handle a demon.
Yeah,
because
I'm
you became an
ordained, I can
internet
do
priest.
exorcisms.
I'm like, I'm ordained too, but I'm not that.
And
silly.
this is Angela Light on here said I started working at the old Culver Hospital in Crawfordsville. I won't get off the elevator at that basement level. I'm not judging anyone. Now, question is, do you work there currently? Is it already an apartment complex, or have you worked there in the past? So if you could post that in the chat, I'd like to actually talk about that because we have never met somebody that's actually worked at the hospital. We just been in there and did our own little thing.
Yeah, we were actually there. I don't know if Angela knew that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we investigated there. What? 4
It
years.
was about 4 years. Yeah, we
5
spent a
years
whole
ago.
couple days. We
It was
spent
5
a
years
whole
ago.
weekend in there.
Because that was when I first started.
Yeah.
That was like my third investigation ever. I've been doing this for about 5 years.
Oh, you are the property manager as of last Monday. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yay!
And that does
Promotion.
explain like that it is they did turn that into apartments, correct? I'm asking, waiting for her to answer like she's gonna talk to me. I'm sorry.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And yes, and the basement is where we found a lot of stuff
Well, also
because
if-
the morgue's down there.
If anyone ever has any problems there,
You let us know.
You can let us know. We can work. We can figure out anything
How to
we need
help,
you
yeah.
Um,
Because that
I
place
know
is definitely haunted.
My my great grandpa passed away in that hospital. Which interesting enough, I didn't know that when I went there.
Really?
Yeah,
Ah.
and I found it out later, and I was like, oh my god, if I could go back.
You're like, oh, I want to go back now.
Right?
We
Yeah.
need to go to apartment 3C.
Yeah, that would be the hard part. I know it's in the West.
But that's
Wing,
I love that they
know.
took that old building and they made it something awesome.
So can I shift real quick? So Nakia, do you get like certain feelings if you touch certain artifacts that you don't really know a backstory to?
On a rare occasion. I have a friend who's way better at that trick than I am.
Thank you for
Like-
chiming in, Angela. That's awesome.
So, I mean,
that's not funny. I don't know that trick. Let me see.
What's that?
Let me see it.
What do you-
I
What do you
asked
want to see
her
the medallion?
if
Sure, why not?
she touches
Oh, okay.
a haunted artifact, can she sense more with
We're
touching
gonna- we're gonna try it right now, yeah.
than opposed to just walking into a room with a random artifact in the room with you?
That is. I would like to come see that building too. By the way, I'm reading the comments while you're
That's
That's
doing.
weird. This feels cold on like half my brain.
It just numbs it out.
That's weird.
I would love to come see that building again, just to see it because we were in there when it was like all tore up.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see what the renovations they did. You know, and on the third floor, are they having issues with the person that committed suicide? Or are they
Yeah, the person that jumped.
the jumper? Or are they,
And-
you know,
and we
just
were-
questions?
We were there
Probably.
legally, by the way.
Yes, we had
Never
permission.
go in places.
Yes, never
that
go
you
any place
do
you-
not
yeah.
have permission for.
Yeah, we were on TV 18 actually. That was a lot of fun.
That's very tiring. So what you get? You get anything from
Nope,
me?
just the weird cold brain. I don't know.
I mean, that's just a curious question.
So I was real interested in to see, and she said in the comments here, oh, they're having an open house soon, so maybe we can go down to the open house and check it out. That's awesome.
I think
Put that on the
would
morgue
probably
level.
be a little frowned upon. What are you here for? Investigating.
No, not like that. We'll go down and check out the building.
We'll wear brown cloaks.
Now, did they use? I wonder if they used the building behind too, because that's where we got some of the
Oh, yeah,
the up
I forget.
with Trey, because he
Yeah.
got some of the up while he was walking up the stairs.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. I'm so glad that is.
A usable area.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was an abandoned building for years.
Reused it, and they reused it and made it a lot useful. They made it a useful building, which
Yeah, that's awesome for that
part of me is
area.
Like, part of me is like, ooh.
Because I remember
But
knocking
at the
on the
same time,
doors of every
places.
neighbor and just letting them know what we're investigating to see if they've seen anything and everything. And every one of the neighbors that we talked to had an experience of walking by the building or seeing
Yeah.
something in the building, which is rare.
Huh.
So it was pretty cool, and I liked it.
And Stephen, if you have any other questions that I mean, I'm sure we've probably talked about some of the stuff you have questions about in the past, or going to talk about in the future. But if you have any more questions,
absolutely.
just hit us up on here, and
Or you can call it 317-446-7857. I will get that one day.
I'm gonna make you a poster.
I'm telling you, it
Flashcard.
needs to be a banner right up there.
Well, at Lafayette Theater, we'll make it a banner. So we kind of got off track because we started talking about we got excited about the old Culver Hospital,
well, I mean,
which
it's a fun story. To talk
such a
about.
good place.
Yeah,
It was such a cool
And
place.
The Trey got scratched in the back.
Yeah.
Big old scratch mark. TV18 caught that. It was
Wow.
awesome.
You know, it was weird. It was weird taking your
mean-
local news channel in there, and then now everybody in Lafayette knows that you're a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were on the news, and everybody's like, "That freaking weirdo."
Oh, by the way, in my spare time,
Or yeah,
Also, I mean, speaking of scratches and how they relate, I'm going to get us back on track. Sorry.
okay, yes, okay. There we
But
go.
basically, like, even scratches does not mean it's demonic. That was another thing I wanted to touch on, because it doesn't mean that. You know, it might be getting your attention. Yeah, I could have done it in a better way, but it doesn't mean it's demonic evil.
No.
I mean,
And that's a good thing.
I've listened
Actually,
to a lot of speakers talk.
let's take a break there, and we'll pick that up right there, and we'll finish out the rest of the show with that. And Angela, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can message. My name's James Holzclaw, and we have Kevin Steiner here. We're one of the two main guys for All Last Paranormal. You can message one of us or message us on our page.
Yeah.
And we'll give you our number and everything, so you can let us know when the open house is happening. Because that'd be cool just to come see the building
And
again.
we won't bring our equipment.
And we won't
promise.
bring equipment, I promise. So, but all right, thank you guys for joining Facebook Live. That's all we're gonna do for Facebook Live tonight. Maybe, I don't know. If you're lucky, I don't know. But all right, enjoy the music.